But let me go into this last game right here, USC, Fresno State. This is a play a lot on riding this USC Lincoln Riley, what they call in the transfer portal all-star team right here. And they just keep getting undervalued. This is probably the last time you're going to be able to do this because as it goes on, the books are going to adjust. They're going to be playing this Fresno State team who I predicted last week would lose to Oregon, which they did. They played Oregon State, I'm sorry. They played a great game, had some comeback measures. But Jake Haener for Fresno State, the quarterback, great quarterback. I mean, in the skill competition and all that, he's probably going to be number one with the skill set and all that stuff. But he's just not clicking when he needs to be clicking at a lot of times. So they were able to bottle him up a little bit late in the game for Oregon State, and they were able to get some pressure on them as well. So we got some flaws on the line right there. USC on the defensive side of thing, they playing classic Lincoln Riley ball right now, and we talked about this early in the season too. It makes a lot of sense with college football that these coaches in college football, they carry their bad weight with them too. So here we go, USC, their high potent offense with that Lincoln Riley look so good but don't play so well defense, and teams are able to score, but they're able to outscore you and keep applying the pressure. But the one thing I did like about USC, they had a couple takeaways and stuff, is that secondary. And this is flip-flop from what USC is usually known for. They're usually known for having a good front seven. But this year, the secondary, they turned up. A bunch of young guys moving around, trying to make plays and all that stuff. And Jake's they do have Mims over there who ran really well last game, I'm sorry. But I think that USC, they front should be a little bit bigger than Fresno State. I mean, every player on Fresno State would have loved to go to USC. So they're going to be a little bit more talented in the trenches, which is going to put a little more pressure on Haener. And then that secondary is going to have the opportunity to make some big plays. Lincoln Riley, all about big plays. This USC team, the school, the fans, the alumni, they want the Pete Carroll days back. They want to beat teams 50-something to 24 and stuff like that. And here we go again. I think this 12 is a little undervalued. Now, this is where they should have been putting 17, 15, something up there, because SC is definitely going to score some points in this game. And they're going to outscore Fresno. Fresno's going to make mistakes because, like I said, they're not clicking on all cylinders. They're even talking about it now that they're saying, the coach Jeff Tedford, he's a first-year coach of this team. It's taking time for things to get straight in order after coming off such a loss last week, where there was some they consider some mistakes made too, and, what he called towards the end and stuff like that. It's tough for them to roll over and have to come down the street and come play USC. Well, actually, USC going out to Fresno State, but, they're going to be accepting the USC team from right around the way, and they're coming turned up over there. So I'm riding the USC train. Choo-choo! USC -12.
You're on the USC side, huh? Man, it's a lot of steam on that play because I think the opening number was like 7. Run up to that big number, same thing with the total. The total, like when I was looking at the total, I think the total was like 60, 68 and a half, something like that. So all the money that's come in on the USC side equated to the total moving up also. So, because I was looking at the team totals, and I think if you look at Haener, he's got 737 yards, 368 yards per game. 75% of his passes, 3 touchdown passes this season so far. He's going to sling the rock around the field. There's no question about it. The thing I like about Fresno is they play pretty well against the Pac-12, and they're kind of like little brother, big brother, but they do good. And the overs, speak for themselves with USC, and their games. And Fresno, like I said, they're gonna throw the rock around the yard a little bit, which kind of confusing to me a little bit. I mean, I know they had a huge game. I know Williams had a huge game. Addison had a good game, 340 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Addison had 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Williams' numbers in the 2 games, he's 39 for 49, which I figure he threw the ball more than that in 2 games. He's got 590 yards, which is still pretty decent though. But Addison's, like I say, he's right at 113 yards a game, 12 receptions and 4 touchdowns. So this is going to be a shootout at the OK Corral. And, the number indicates that. The total indicates that. But I like the look I had come up on this game. I think USC is going to give up some. They're going to, in order for them to get to 73 points, USC is not scoring 73 points on their own, okay? So evidently Hainer and Fresno is going to be involved in that total. And I think I already bet it early on. There's one play I already made. I bet it 30.5. Now I think it's sitting like 31.5. So I'm on Fresno team total over 30.5. But I think it's 31 or 31.5 currently. So that's what I come over. They're going to participate in that total, that number climbing up. Even though, like I said, most of that money has come in on USC and putting their share of that points on, adding on to the original total, which is 5 and 5. So 68.5 to 73.5, 7 to 12. So USC's taking all the money, and they're the reason why the totals climbed up to 73. But I still think Fresno is going to have a big chunk of that total. I can see the point, where you say, the steam's coming in on USC because of recent performance, but history shows me that Fresno is going to be a capable dog here in this spot. But I like them to score points.
Yeah, they're definitely capable. I think Fresno State has been the team out of conference to play the most Pac-12 teams at a great success. So I think I would, if this was last year, I would have took Fresno State plus the points. But this year, I think it's just SC's year. They're on the mission. All systems go. Like I said last week about USC playing Stanford. They Lincoln Riley gotta show and improve all that money and contract and all that good stuff. So they probably had a meeting and said, look, not only do we want to win, we want to win impressively. We want to win the Pac-12 and get in the playoffs before we move over into the Big Ten. So
yeah, no doubt. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be the better late game of the evening.
The late night special. But that's basically it for the most part today. I was listening to a couple podcasts.
Hey, but I want to bring up one thing though. You got USC at Fresno, right? Isn't the game in Los Angeles?
I might have that backwards. I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like I said, because I know the last 7 at USC have been overs at their home squad. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I did make a mistake on this one.
That's all right.
I'm pretty sure.
It doesn't matter on the screen. I'm just letting people know that the game it's at USC.
Yeah. Wait a second. Yeah, it is at USC. But yeah, so I got that the wrong way around.
That's
so
right.
Yeah. Fresno State at USC. So they're going on the road, but that's a good thing for them because it's way higher.
Yeah, they're like 22-8 on the road.
Yeah.
ATF. Last 30.
It's a lot cooler in LA than it is in Fresno State. So it's probably to their advantage to be coming this way. It's going to be a pretty late game, or is it 3:30?
No, that's
a late game.
That's a late game.
Yeah.
That's late. But